Hey home bakers, it's Jack here, bakewithjack.co.uk, bringing you your weekly bread making tip every single Thursday. And this week we're talking all about fresh yeast, where to get it from in the first place and why I love it so. Roll that theme tune. Hello to you and welcome back to the Bake with Jack YouTube channel, where I share with you a little bit of my bread making expertise every single Thursday. If you get a little bit of value out of this video, that is literally my only hope. If you like it and you want to see more, consider clicking subscribe and I'll see you next week. A couple of weeks ago we spoke about and actually showed you how to prove that your yeast is working and why you might want to do that, even though actually I never do. In that video, I used fresh yeast because I always use fresh yeast at home, in class. We always use fresh yeast because I believe it makes a massive difference in terms of the flavour and the texture of your bread. If I had two loaves of bread sat side by side, one made with fresh yeast and one made with dry yeast, I feel like I could probably tell the difference between the two, because the fresh yeast one just simply tastes a little bit more like bread. Fresh yeast is a living thing, and I believe you can feel that inside of the dough. It just feels more alive. It might sound daft, it feels like it's got more character, it feels more alive, and I like that. If you can find fresh yeast out there somewhere in the wild, then give it a try, because I believe your final loaf will be packing that little certain je ne sais quoi that doesn't quite feel as present in a dry yeast loaf. But don't let that be a barrier to you making amazing bread at home. If dry is all you have and dry is all you use and dry is all you can get hold of, use dry and make epic bread. If you want to give fresh yeast a try, then do, but the question remains, where do you get it from in the first place? Well, there are a few places you can get fresh yeast from, certainly here in the UK, and my top secret supplier, the person I've been getting it from for the last, I don't know how many years I've been doing classes for, my super secret supplier is, wait for it, Sainsbury's supermarket. That's right, John James Sainsbury has it at the bakery counter in his grocery store, as do some other supermarkets. Say hello to the man or lady working hard behind the bakery counter at your local supermarket and ask them politely if you might have a little bit of their yeast. And they'll likely say something to you like, oh, yes, of course we can, sir. How much would you like? And then you tell them how much you would like, and then they go and get how much you would like and put it into a paper bag and give it to you, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory, really, isn't it? Bada bing, bada boom, you've got fresh yeast in your hand, and it's literally pennies. It's like 20 or 40p or something ridiculous. Other supermarket chains with bakery counters might have some fresh yeast. They might even give it to you for free. And I say might because some of those fresh bread bakery counters aren't actually baking bread behind there. It's all a little bit of smoke and mirrors and alakazam fresh bread. They're just for show. They're just browning off something that came in frozen or part baked from somewhere else. Just popping it into the oven, making it look like they're baking it when actually they're not, and it makes the shop smell nice. In other supermarkets, you might actually find it in the actual fridge section. Certainly Morrison's here in the UK sells it in little cubes, and from what I've heard, it's in that section of the fridge where all the pre-made puff pastries are and all the other such things that I never use. If you can't find it in the supermarket, try an actual bakery instead. Now, I'm not exactly sure how they might react in your local bakery if you ask them for some fresh yeast. I'd like to think they'd be all like, fresh yeast? Sure, the more the merrier, and give you a slow motion high five, resulting in everyone rolling on the ground, clutching their bellies in laughter and a big cloud of flour. But a little part of me feels like they might be a bit cheesed off if you went and sidestepped past all the rows of shelves of fresh bread that they stayed up all night to bake for you, to ask them for some fresh yeast so you can make your own. Health food shops, I'm told, often has fresh yeast as well. The kind of shops where you get a big massive jar of cod liver oil capsules, and they always seem to smell like fennel seeds. Health food shops filled with seeds and vitamin tablets and all that sort of thing. Sometimes they have little cubes there of fresh yeast for you. Now, aside from doing a Google search and finding other stockers that might supply and deliver to your house, I find I can never get a bit small enough. I only want a little bit sometimes for home use, like 100 grams or something that would do me for 4 weeks. Shh. sugar, what was that? When you do buy online, you're going to end up paying a lot of money for a little piece because you've got to pay like $5.99 postage, something daft. But if you look on eBay, sometimes you find some stuff on there. In comparison to what you buy in the supermarket, it is well expensive. But still, like, if you need it, you got it, and they'll deliver to your house. For me, there's a level of too much faff, and eBay is just on the cusp of too much faff for the fresh yeast. If I've got dry yeast in the house or out and about and I can find that easy, I'd rather use that over sifting through articles on eBay trying to find the most cost-effective one to buy. I'm going to Sainsbury's, you know what I mean? Yeah? If you can get fresh yeast, then get it. It will make a world of difference to your bread. And if you can't get fresh yeast and you just use dry and you'll never know the difference that the fresh would have made anyway. You'll be at home making epic loads of homemade bread and it will work for you. And that's the key. It's got to work for you. I don't judge you do what you can do. There's a fine line between doing something that's practical for you and sacrificing quality for convenience, and where that line is drawn is up to you. But for me, fresh bread, whether with fresh yeast or dry yeast, is miles better than anything that you can buy in the shops anyway, so you already won. Wherever you are in the world, if you have a top super secret place where you get it from that I haven't mentioned here, whether it's online or offline, let us know. Spill the beans in the comments box underneath so we can all make use of it too. And while you're at it, let us know where you are on the planet, because that would be helpful. Next week, we're going to talk about how to keep it. When you got it, when you found it, when you tracked it down out in the wild and caught it. Next week, we're going to tell you exactly how to keep it, how to keep fresh yeast fresh. If you like what you saw today, consider clicking subscribe to hang around for next week, because we do this every single Thursday, baby. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I look forward to seeing you next week for another one. Bye-bye. And there it is. I'm not sure how helpful that video is going to be for you right now, but hopefully in the future it will be, and maybe you just enjoyed watching it. The second part of this little mini 2-part series is up now. It's video number 139, so go and check that out. And don't forget, if you don't want to miss my content every single week, you can sign up for your free Home Bakers Bulletin, and you'll get everything from the week in your inbox every single Thursday morning. See you soon.